Hi everyone. For this assignment, I had a 10 to 15 minute conversation and then watched it back to evaluate my own listening skills. So here's some things I learned about myself. One thing that stood out right away is that I get really excited when I talk to people. So when I'm engaged, I'm passionate, pretty animated, and I have a lot of hand gestures. That energy does help me connect with people, but I have noticed that in certain cultural contexts, I may come off as angry or abrupt, and maybe there's just too much movement going on. So that's something I kind of want to work on. I also realize that I'm very easily distracted. I'm kind of ADHD and all over the place when I talk to people, and I haven't talked to people for a long time, so I'm so excited to talk to them. And so I don't want to bowl over them with too many stories and that kind of things. But when I'm invested, I'm fully present. But then sometimes when I'm trying to listen better, I get distracted really easy. So that's something that I also want to work on. Another big thing that I noticed is that when I am listening and I'm trying to do my best, sometimes I overcorrect that. Like, for example, I might give the person space to talk, but I concentrate so intensely that I forget the verbal cues completely. And then when I do the verbal cues, sometimes they're not natural, and someone thinks I'm being sarcastic or patronizing, and that's not really what I'm trying to set off there. I do also tend to paraphrase a lot for understanding. Sometimes this works well, and then for some people, I notice that they find it maybe patronizing and manipulative. When in all honesty, I really didn't understand what they were saying. I don't know if that's a cultural thing or what, but maybe work on that so the person doesn't feel like they're being talked down to. On the positive side, I don't really interrupt a lot, much. And once I notice that it's a problem, I'll scale it back and then I'll let the other person speak. And I do communicate pretty clearly with people, and I don't really have a lot of distraction habits, which is nice. So there's not a lot of ums or whatever while I'm listening to people. So I try not to be distracting, and I try to be a pretty good communicator. This exercise was pretty good though, because there are some things that I do want to work on. And so as I was watching the video, not my favorite thing to watch myself. So I really hate doing it, but it was helpful, and it showed me a few places that I could grow and maybe consistently pay more attention and use verbal cues more naturally and adjust my nonverbal communication depending on the person I'm talking to. So I'm excited to keep improving because better listening really does strengthen a relationship. So that's good. Thanks.